Hi, I'm Jason Thornton from Tritex Games Limited. I'm here to review the latest set of miniatures from WizKids, the Dungeons and Dragons Set 3, Rage of Demons. I found with this set the miniatures have just gone from strength to strength. They're really good paintwork, really good detailed miniatures, and actually ones that fit really well with the game in respect of to size and the way I would expect the miniatures to look. I actually found leading up to the set's release there was very few images online of the actual miniatures themselves, so it was very difficult to find out exactly what was included in the set. But I have to say I'm quite pleased with what they've actually produced. So I thought I'd just give a little bit of a review now, so you can have a look at the miniatures up close and get a feel for which ones would actually fit your collection. So without further ado, let's start. Okay, the first one we're going to look at is the Darrow. Little Darrow dwarf there, and the back of him, very tiny little figure, perfect proportion. I find with these miniatures they're all about 28mm scale, and they fit perfectly with regards to other miniatures you might find in the D&D and Pathfinder range. We then have the Dretch Demon, if I can find him in this set somewhere. Looks very much like a cow-like little miniature. Quite hunchback in his own little way. Right, then we have the Goblin Archer. This guy's roughly about 15-20mm tall. Not my strongest figure. I think I've seen better archers before, but certainly a nice little figure. And we have the Kobold Soldier. I like this figure because I love it. I love his little tail at the back. I think his tail's really good proportion. It seems to fit with the character, and the face on that, the facial expression on the figure is very, very good. We have little Quasits. Now I've seen Quasits before from D&D, pretty much in the Giants Legend site. Not anywhere near in detail than this. This actually looks like a little character. Actually looks like he could be a little bit of a kobold as well, green kobold. But yeah, great character. Love his little tail. And we have the Duragar Soldier. Looks kind of like a female character, but I think it's supposed to be, that's the way it's supposed to be orientated. Not quite as blue as I've seen them before. It's quite nice. The Cockatrice. I actually love this figure. I think this is brilliant. I think Cockatrice have featured very well in my role-playing campaigns before, but I always like the one that came with the Against the Giants set. Just never really sort of lived up to expectations with Cockatrice. This one looks quite like a featherless chicken, which is kind of how I pictured it. And you've got the Dwarf Wizard. Nice little light on the top of his staff there. Yep. Very good. Always a popular little piece. We get the Ettercap. But a couple of Ettercaps, one from the Giants Legend and one that was set from the Demonwed set in the old sets. But I think this one's the right detail, and I think it fits in proportion with the other ones we've already seen before. So yeah, very impressed with that one. Then we got the Kuatoa. Not quite sure how you pronounce that, but Kuatoa, little sort of frog-like creature. Definitely looks a little bit very, very fishy to me. Almost like salmon. Perfect little figure. He's around about, so probably about 28-30mm tall. Right. Down. We have the Human Wizard. Nice little human wizard there, fairly straightforward, pretty much bespoke what you'd expect from a human wizard. Nice little flowing cape, quite a good design. I love this guy. This is a lizard folk soldier, and yeah, really nice detail character. Love his shield. I think it looks pretty much like what I expect a lizard folk to look like. Yeah, really impressed with that one. his little face, and if you can see up close, you can see his sort of face and detail that he's got on there. Excellent little face. We've got the Hobgoblin Soldier, fiery faced, quite nice plate mail set there. Looks quite aggressive in his pose. I've got a Drow Scout, looks very much like a thief type character with little daggers. Certainly nice pose, quite good facial features, great position, twin daggers for any Drow thief character that you might have. Then we've got the Kuatoa Archpriest, obviously gone purple with age, holding his rod there. Looks like he's actually almost cheering on the crowd. Oops, dropped him. Got the Drow Captain, a crossbow and long sword. Female character, female Drow. Less chunky than the male version, but again quite good proportion for the figure. Fits the type. Got the Quagloth. You shouldn't pronounce that. I think Quagloth is what they pronounce. Again, we've seen the Quagloth slave before from War Drums. I think that's more of what I expect it to be, as a sort of a bestial type character. Great little figure there. And we got what is, I have to put this one together. This is a Shadow Demon. This one comes in a lot of the bigger pieces now, and some of them come in little with podiums. You need to stand on the podium. But again, this is quite transparent. Great looking figure. Quite a mean looking Shadow Demon. And we got the what else we got here? We got the Banshee. Again, quite translucent figure from Banshee. I'm not quite sure if you can see all the detail. Probably easier if I put my hand behind it so you can see it. Very translucent, very sort of ghost-like miniature. I do like this translucent effect on these figures. I think it just really brings them out. Quite scary looking, Banshee looking figure. Right, you've got the two Myrmidons. So you've got with this, you've got the Water Myrmidon, looks with his trident. Again, quite transparent, a little bit of a silver painting on to give it the armour effect. Quite a nice looking miniature there. And then you've got the Air Myrmidon, which I think is more my favourite. I think with yeah, really nice looking figure. Could also work as a little elemental or some sort of eternal creature. A lot of detail there on the way the armour's been put together. We've got a Grimlock, little mace. Little pouch, and quite aggressive there. And yeah, we've got some of the bigger figures we've got. I'll come back to. I'll probably go on to some of the rare figures which we've got. We've got a Zorn. Is it Zorn or Quorn? I think people have different ways of pronouncing this. So it's got little teeth there. If you can see his little horrible mouth. If you want to get caught in that little earth elemental creature, the lies all around. Scary little thing to encounter. Got Rust Monster. Now, I think this is particularly one of my favourite ones. This one, I think, is a great monster. Real looks like what I'd expect a Rust Monster to look like. Looks a bit sort of the previous one we'd seen. I think it was in Dangerous Delves. So it didn't really sort of live up to my expectations. But I think this one really looks like it's quite a bit mean. So to be give the fighter something to be scared of. It's quite a rare miniature. I think what it's worth saying, actually, notice on this set is that whereas previous WizCodes sets have always been, if you bought a case, you could get pretty much a complete set. I found that the distribution on some of the rarer miniatures in this set has become very scarce. I certainly opened many cases, and actually some of the rares I got one of each, and one of them actually didn't get the Copper Dragon, which is kind of frustrating. I know there's 2 ultra rares from the set which are both which are impressive, which are the Shadow Beholder and the Shadow Gold Dragon, and those are incredibly hard to get hold of. But and I expect the Invisibles to be harder, but to get the rares being quite a low distribution is quite a bit of a shortcoming for some people. I know some people found that quite disappointing. Right, what else have we got here? Then we've got the before I go into the big figures, we've got the Grell. Never really used a Grell in a campaign. The previous one I've seen in Death Knell wasn't really up to much expectation, but again, sort of seems to fit what you'd expect the character to look like. Got some great little tendrils there, hovered above the ground. Got the Mind Flayer again. This is a Lich a Lich Mind Flayer, vicious looking thing. Again, very rare. I've only got one of these, so I expect it to sell pretty damn fast. Always popular figures in high level campaigns, Mind Flayers, eating those brains. We have the Elf Archer, the Wood Elf Archer. Quite a nice model actually for a Wood Elf. I've seen a lot of Wood Elves in the past. It's quite strange to see a Wood Elf being a rare figure. Normally Wood Elves are sort of fairly common figures, so quite surprised that they've decided to make that one a rare. But yeah, quite nice little looking miniature. We've got the Blink Dog. I've used Blink Dogs before in my campaign. Quite frustrating when they get into a pack and then blinking all over the place and disappearing and teleporting. And I think it's worth at this point bringing out the Invisible Blink Dog as well, which is a special, very rare miniature, which is almost exact medal, etc. as you can see, but the invisible version. Quite collectible. Great little miniature that. Okay, then we've got the you've got the Beholderkin. This one's just with the small ones. I've got to wait to tell you the Beholder, but I think this one's great. I love his tongue. I think he's fantastic. Haven't really seen these since the earlier sets actually, Beholderkin. So it's nice to see them making a comeback, because I think they're quite used in, again, a lot of high level campaigns. People tend to use other beholders. I think Tolga's fairly mean. Right, let's look at some of the bigger miniatures that we've got that came in. We've got this great troll. I think the troll is an exceptional troll. I've seen a lot of trolls lately and they all seem to be a bit comical, whereas I think this troll actually tends to really look what I'd typically expect a troll to look like. And just giving you an idea of scale as well, if I bring the Wood Elf beside it, again you can get an idea of the scale of the model. Certainly decent scale. I love those claws. Those claws are fairly vicious looking. Cool. Yeah, proper looking troll, that one. I think I'll keep the scale up there because I think it'll make it a little bit easier when I look at this. Right, we then got the Carrion Crawler. Everyone sort of encounters these, so they can be a frustrating thing on a low level campaign, but paralysing you. I think they've really got their head around this one. I think all the ones in the past seem to be a bit weird. They all seem to be a bit smiley, certainly against the giants and some of those ones, whereas this one tends to really give you the creeps, what a Carrion Crawler really looks like. Quite a mean looking character. And we've got the Roper. Okay, the smile's back. Stalagmite. Ooh, lost him. There we go. He's gone flying. There's the Roper. Just get your little Wood Elf before side. You can see the side idea of scale again. Yeah, I found myself quite a victim of this guy in various campaigns in a long time. Again, not a bad looking character. Not sure about the red lips, but the red eye certainly sort of does it justice. Mean looking vicious thing. And we've got Driders. Driders are very popular characters. I always find that these they tend to typically turn out, if you go into any Underdark type campaign, you'll encounter Driders. and I think this particular nice one. The riders in the past all seemed very small. This one tends to give you a real scale of a quite a fearsome looking warrior. Proper spider body, and I love the claw that's sort of reaching up there. Okay, we've got a few others. We've got the Hook Horror. And again, I've seen Hook Horrors from the Underdark set. It's Underdark set, and Hallowed set certainly had a Hook Horror. I think it's Aberrations had one. Not a bad looking one. I don't think there's much difference. Yeah, it certainly looks quite vicious enough. It's certainly one that keeps turning up in campaigns, a bit like the Umber Hulk. Turns up in an awful lot of campaigns. Hook Horrors. Strange looking beast. Okay, then we've got these figures tend to come in multiple parts. This is a Nightmare. You'll tend to find that when you fit these, you have to fit them into, they have a little slot. If you can just see from there, they have like a slot that has like a little bit of an angle to it. You need to make sure that that goes in first to the figure, because then fit it in the right angle, otherwise it won't stick. And then you need to stick that in the base, but I will stick it into the figure first before you stick it into the base, so you don't end up breaking the base. This is the Nightmare. Translucent hair. Nightmares are quite popular, I think, high level campaigns. More of an encountering one rather than riding one, but it's certainly a good looking little beast, that. You've got the Rage Demon, bird-like character. Again, comes in a few parts you have to put together. Seen a few Rage Demons before. Dungeons of Dread had one. I kind of like this one. It sort of makes more sense. It's flying. The first one I've seen flying, and I think I like the detail. I love the detail of the hands of this. I don't know if you can see the scale on that, but you can see the actual how thin the hands are, and how much detail they put in, and not necessarily delicate either. The wings are quite movable. So they're not likely to just fall apart on you. We've got the Jinn and Ifrit, part of a set of two really. Jinn and Ifrit. Again, floating. Quite like that. A lot of the Jinns I've seen in the past have been standing still. Angel Fire, for instance, and Against the Giants had one. This one looks like a representation of what I expect a Jinn to look like. And then his partner in crime is Ifrit. Translucent fire from the bottom there, and yeah, quite mean looking characters. Again, it come in three pieces. You have to put the pole in and the base again, but yeah, good looking characters. Good representations of what the characters are, I believe. Right, then you get the other demon of the set. Nice looking, mean looking creature, this one. This is I always struggle to pronounce this one. It's the Nalfreshini demon. Nalfreshini demon. Wow, it's a mean looking character. I've actually encountered these. I've actually used these in a high level campaign myself. And this, I think, is probably the best representation. I've seen the other one we had before, which is just too big, I felt. I think this one really works. It's the right size for what you need. Big fat sort of pig-like boar-like character, wings on the back. Again, quite a rare character, quite difficult to find. So not sure if you'll get one in every case, but okay. This one's going to be, it's a small one again, but this is a half-orc paladin. Again, one of my particular favourites. I thought his armour was very, very, very good. I thought done a really good representation, and again, quite popular in campaigns. People tend to like the half-orc paladin for their strength. And I mean, if you wanted to, you could always paint his face blue if you wanted to. Blue. Paint his face pink if you wanted to make him human. But because certainly he's got that look, not necessarily orcish. You could quite easily override that, but certainly a nice looking figure. With the plate mail on that. And you've got the let's pick the big ones. I think we've got here. We've got a gold dragon, beautiful gold dragon. This one's fairly incredible. This one, a lot of detail on this. Again, quite a rare miniature. Look at it. If you look at the details of that, just on the top here, you see the whiskers of it. Very thin. Again, quite strong, quite durable. It can move, but beautiful gold representation, real gold flavour. It actually looks like it's gold plated. It's a beautiful figure. I would have liked to see the shadow one. There's a shadow version of this, which is very rare. I haven't found any in any of the cases I've got. I know it's going for some quite a reasonable price online, but certainly looks like it could be nice to have a shadow dragon in this format. So yeah, beautiful gold dragon there. Then we have the Lich dragon. Now I'm going to take this base off. Actually, I think it's probably easier just to show these ones because they're quite big. So this is a Lich dragon. This is the first of the dragons, the red Lich dragon. I think it's important to note as well that this comes in various pieces, so you actually have to detach the wings as well as the base on this. If you can see its face there, it's but yeah, the wings actually detach from this, so when you first get the figure, it actually comes with the wings off, and they just slot into the little side bits there. You have to slot them back in. Again, be very careful. Probably worth gluing if you're going to use it as a permanent piece. If you're going to, I think it's there for transportation. It's quite useful. And you got the Chasmy demon. It's like an insectoid type thing. Flying base. Not really used those in any of my campaigns so far, but I know they're quite popular. Looks like a sturge, or a mean beak-like creature. Okay, we've got the. I've got another invisible here. I actually got there's two other invisibles. There's the invisible mind flare, which I didn't get, but I did get the invisible wizard. I only got one of those again, so I'm going to have to. I've opened pretty much all my cases. I'm going to have to buy more now to get more of these. But again, very rare figure. Quite useful for campaigns. The amount of time you go invisible in a D&D campaign. It suits your character. What else we got that we haven't shown so far? Got the Null Champion of, again this is going to be another one of those words, Champion of Vino Gu. Null Champion of Vino Gu, so quite a interesting looking character. He's got like a flail there. Big shield. Love the detail, certainly quite a scary looking character, so it looks like a champion in my book. I'll give you an idea of scale on that one. If I get you the Wood Elf Soldier again that we've done before, should give an idea of scale. Excuse the fingers, so it gives you an idea of what they look like. Cool. And we've got a few others we've got here. We've got the Bugbear Hunter, quite a small little character. Extremely rare again, another one that took a few cases just to find one of these. So if you found one in your case, you're very lucky. Quite strange again, Bugbear's not used to seeing as being rare, but quite surprised to find them being a rare figure in the pack. Okay, we're coming towards the end of it now. We've not got many more to find. Got the Dread Guard. Ooh, here we go. Trying to find his way. Gold armour. Getting quite detailed. I like that. I like the amount of detail they put. If you look at the amount of detail on the shield and stuff, it just makes it really, really well. They've done an excellent job. I think the more professional painters out there would probably want to just give them a quiet wash and think just a little bit of a dry brush to sort of tidy them up. But I think yeah, certainly done a decent job on the painting this time. Okay, so I didn't get the copper dragon. That's the one I would like to have shown. That's one from Fortune Man only, because if I get one, I'll maybe add an extra to this just to show you the copper drag off. And then the last one that I do want to show, which I'm really excited about, is the Beholder. This is the Beholder. It's probably the best Beholder I've seen so far. Phenomenal figure, really big. I mean, that's, if you look at the Death Nail one by size, it's just pales by comparison. This one is an absolute beauty. Not quite as big as the one that came from Legendary Evils, which I think personally was too big. This one's an absolute cracker. It's got some phenomenal tendrils. I love the teeth. If you look at the detail of the teeth, you can kind of go in there. They're quite sharp inside. And just to give you an idea of scale again, just again using the Wood Elf Fighter as representation, you can see that yeah, I think personally it's a perfect scale for the figure. So look at that eyeball. That'll sort of give you a few nightmares. So yeah, certainly a very popular figure. I expect to sell out this one probably the next day. And yeah, I think the price on him is going to rise quite considerably, because he's a beautiful figure. Probably the best. It's the kind of one that you kind of just want sitting on the mantelpiece, you know, just to scare people as they come in the door. So certainly terrify a few high level campaigners. And if got a little baby beside him, which is the Beholderkin, gives you an idea of scale there as well. So yeah, beautiful piece. So that's it really. The only one I haven't really shown you is the white Lich Dragon, the limited edition one. So I'm going to go get one of those. I'm going to open one up while we're actually here, because I haven't actually put one together myself. So I just thought it'd be interesting to sort of see if I can open one up. So I'll be back in 2 seconds and show you what that one looks like. Right, here we are. Comes in the limited box. So quite excited to see how this looks like. I've seen it on the pictures. I actually think the limited edition figures that they produce with the sets are actually really good, and I know they're very collectible. They're only around for a very short while. Like all the figures, really, you have to get them while you can. A white Dracolich. I actually faced one of these when I was about 20 level mage in the past. Quite a nasty character, by all accounts. Right. Oh, this is the bad boy. Oh, quite interesting. This bad boy comes in a single piece, which is quite unusual for these ones. Normally the dragons come with extra wings attached. So quite pleased now. They're making things a little bit easier on us. So this is the Lich Dragon. Carefully remove this thing. When you look at the white Dragon Lich we used to have for Death Nail, the tiny little figure, I think this one sort of like just as surpasses all hope and expectation. Carefully I take it out. One delicate piece. Looks like it comes. The base will obviously come separately again, but that's the white Dracolich. Oh, look at that! Look at the detail on the wings, and the tail there. Yeah, cracking sized figure, and then the carriage as well. Give you an idea of scale again, just because I know you like that. Let's get the little Wood Elf back again and get an idea of the scale of him versus the Wood Elf. Probably not as big as some of the limited edition ones I've seen before, but I think from a Dracolich it probably fits up, because the white dragon tends to be a smaller dragon anyway. So yeah, that's a limited white dragon one that you could get if you've got a case incentive. There's a few still sort of sitting around online and things like that, but yeah, and that's it. That's my brief review of the set. So as I said, I think it's a great set. I think they've progressively got it better with the detail on the figures and the painting of the figures, and hopefully when you get yours you'll enjoy them and use them for many campaigns to come. So thanks for listening. I thank you for your support and continued support of Tritex Games Limited, and wait till the next review of set 4, which is coming out around about December time. Thank you very much. Cheers. Bye bye.